It's definitely a pleasure to present the article, The Importance of School Libraries in Open Schooling, Sustainable Development and Outdoor Learning. And it's a pleasure to say howdy to all of you, my dear colleagues, and to disseminate results of Erasmus project called Outside. Thank you for your interest in topics as open schooling, sustainable development, and outdoor learning. And I really hope that you will share your comments in chat and join to my project team on social media. In the last few months, I thought a lot about this illustration, a lot of plans to visit Italy with our students. But of course, it was totally impossible because of pandemic. And we have to find new ways of collaboration with our project partners in Italy. And this illustration always give us some hope that once when the pandemic ends, everything will be even better than before pandemic. But before I start to tell you the story about how everything starts in our project, I'm glad that even one member from my project team can say hello to you. This is Professor Francis Babayemi from ESRT in London. Take a look.
Well, hello and welcome to our presentation. It's definitely a pleasure to be part of this presentation. This presentation will highlight the important role of school libraries in supporting sort of the both educators and also students, and also how this relates to the sort of the open schooling, which is a phenomenon in its own right. Yeah, this presentation would also cover aspects of outdoor learning. The presentation will cover the following points in particular. One, we would like to give you details about the background of this paper that's been written, but also, more importantly, would like to put forward the case that we have as part of the open community for sustainability development, which is the outside project under the Erasmus Plus mandate. So sit back and enjoy it, and we wish you all the very best. I'm sure we would be taking questions at the end, whether that's by sort of questions taken, which means that you can drop your questions in the chat and those will be addressed. Thank you very much.
Let's took together this illustration. It shows how pandemic affects society. And during the lockdown, we were talking a lot with our students about pandemics in history. For example, the social tumult caused by the Black Death helped lead to the Renaissance. And I start to feel very proud because the huge role in the process of opening minds had libraries and schools. The same was in this project. Everything started in Italy last year. Italian educators start the project about sustainable development, and because we couldn't meet in vivo, we start a collaboration thanks to virtual conferences, and all the time we were talking about thinking outside the box, about how important it is to learn outside the classroom, and how important it is for us going outside. And that's the reason why we called the project Outside. And the goal of the project are innovations, are original materials we want to share with everybody. And we start to develop open educational resources and training for teachers. And we, of course, want to allow good practice exchange in open schooling, SDGs, and outdoor learning. And the role of school libraries was very important in every phase of the project. And nobody was surprised with that, because everybody knows that librarians and teachers and school librarians are very collaborative people. We are people-focused professions, and we collaborate with local communities at the daily level. So, as I mentioned, the project is co-founded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. And we start with research, with desk research and field research. We wanted to investigate situation in Belgium, Croatia, Italy, and Lithuania about open schooling, outdoor learning, environmental education, and sustainable entrepreneurship. And the project results were implemented in Croatia through the program of the school library. So there was a lot of work to do. So we spent so many hours, of course, in serious work, because we wanted to create innovations, original educational resources. And we didn't spend our time only on work. Of course, I couldn't imagine that it's possible to have the camera in virtual environment, but it is possible, and we became good friends. Even we don't know each other in vivo. Everything is virtual, but when you cooperate every day with somebody, it's definitely a great way to open minds and to change our mindset. The project was a renaissance for some of us, because members of project teams are not only teachers and librarians. There are many educators from NGOs, but also from third sector, from companies, from universities. And it was great for all of us to recognize what are similarities and what is difference in our educational work. Our project is based on important strategic documents from the European Union, but also from the United Nations. And we are all aware how important it is to develop key competencies of learners. We want to encourage kids to be innovative, but we are also aware that we have to offer them good environment for development of practical knowledge and successfully solve real problems. But we also are aware that it's very, very important today to promote sustainable development. And we do that, we promote it through the integration of the SDGs into the relevant educational system. I was very surprised that open education is not the same at the global level and also in European context. Open education has existed for more than 50 years in countries that have had to provide their population with open education because of physical distance or because of poverty. But in the European context, openness means an open, curious, welcoming, democratic environment which supports the development of innovative and creative projects and educational activities. So we need new term, and we have it, it's open schooling. Open schooling and open education are similar, but it's not the same. But of course, many heritage from the open education we use for development of open schooling. On the other hand, open educational resources are the same at the global level. It's always very important that it's for free, that it's very clear defined what kind of open licensing is useful. And I was very glad that European teachers take care about copyright and they want to respect it. And of course, everything we develop through the project is in open access. We use public money, and of course, it's very important that it's high quality and available to everybody. So when we start the research, the coordinators were Brussels Ourdoor School and Professor Babayemi. And we were interested how is situation with outdoor learning and open schooling. And we were surprised that outdoor learning, it is very popular in our countries, but it's sometimes very challenging to realize outdoor learning. Also, teachers from Belgium told us that sometimes they have feeling that they don't have enough support in the environment, in their local communities for realization of their innovation. In Croatia, we are in the middle of educational reform called School for Life. And sustainable development is a very important topic in this reform, but teachers don't feel competent enough to teach about sustainable development, open schooling, or entrepreneurship. We don't have enough resources, but of course we are aware how important is to teach the kids about sustainable entrepreneurship. And what is very good for the Croatia is that almost every school has a school librarian, and if you are enthusiastic enough, you can find partners in your local community. For example, in my school, you can see these photos. If I want to offer my students some activities like sport or urban gardening or innovations, for example, in robotics, I will always find partners in my local community, because parents want the best education for the kids, and they will always support us. But of course, it's very important to have support also in strategic documents. In Italy, the situation seems quite good. They have great plan for education to sustainability, but students linked environment and sustainability. They are very interested in development of green business. The same is in Lithuania. It's a beautiful country. They have a lot of opportunities for outdoor learning, but they still need more support for teaching how to become green business investors or innovator. So teachers and students are aware that they need more knowledge and skills to be more innovative. And that's the reason why we start to develop teacher toolkit. We start from the sentence outside the classroom and outside the box, but now we have 8 modules, and these modules will offer a lot of content about sustainability and innovations, and the content will be available in English, Croatian, Lithuanian, Italian, and French. I hope that some of you will be interested to take some of these materials, and if you recognize that they will be something very useful for teachers in your country, feel free to use these materials, but also you can give us your feedback, and we will try to cooperate with you to translate it and to put it in our OER. And of course, I hope that some of you will follow us on social media. You can find me or our project on Twitter, on Facebook, also on our website. And you can also find outside a joint report. Here you will find a lot of great and very detailed information about research in Belgium, Lithuania, Italy, and in my country. And I hope that you will find a lot of useful information. And of course, feel free to give me your feedback in chat or send me an email, and who knows, maybe we will start cooperation on new international project. Thank you.